My chosen one, this is not a coincidence. You did not arrive here by accident. In this very moment, as your eyes follow these words, a message is being released directly from the heavens, and it carries your name. Not someone else's, not a random soul passing by. Yours. Archangel Michael is standing as a witness to this truth, and what you are about to hear is something that happens only once in a lifetime. There is something you must understand immediately. This divine gift has already been sent. It is not on its way. It is not delayed. It is not waiting for approval. Heaven has already released it into your life. And yet, there is a warning echoing through the spiritual realm right now. If you do not claim it, if you hesitate, if you allow doubt or distraction to take over, this gift can slip away from your hands as quickly as it arrived. Feel the weight of that for a moment. This is not meant to scare you. It is meant to awaken you. Because what is being offered is not ordinary. This is not a small blessing or a temporary relief. This is something designed specifically for your soul, something that aligns with your deepest purpose, something that has been prepared long before you even knew to ask for it. You may have felt it recently, that strange shift in your spirit, the sense that something is changing, even if you couldn't explain how or why. Maybe things around you started to feel different. Certain doors closed unexpectedly. Certain people distanced themselves. And at the same time, a quiet voice inside you began to whisper that something greater was coming. That was not your imagination. That was the beginning of this divine delivery. But here is the truth many are not ready to hear. Not everyone who is sent a gift actually receives it. Some ignore the signs. Some delay their response. Some let fear convince them they are not worthy. And in doing so, they watch their miracle pass them by, never realizing how close they were to everything changing. This is why this moment is so critical. Heaven does not interrupt like this without reason. When a message comes with this level of urgency, it means the window is open, but it will not remain open forever. There is a divine timing attached to your blessing, and you are standing right inside it now. Archangel Michael is not only delivering this message, he is guarding the path in front of you. He stands as a protector, ensuring that what has been assigned to you is not stolen, not corrupted, not lost. But even with his protection, there is one thing he will not override: your choice. You must be the one to step forward. You must be the one to say yes. So listen closely, because this is where everything begins to shift. You are not here to wonder anymore. You are not here to question whether this message is meant for you. If you are hearing this, it is because you were meant to. The divine gift is already within your reach, closer than you think, waiting for a single moment of recognition, a single act of acceptance. And as this revelation unfolds, something deeper will be revealed to you. Something that will make you realize that this was never random, never accidental, and never meant for anyone else but you. There was a moment, long before today, long before you even realized it, when heaven quietly marked your name. It did not happen with noise or spectacle. It did not come with thunder or visible signs in the sky. Instead, it was written in the unseen, sealed in the spirit, and protected under divine authority. Archangel Michael stood as a guardian in that moment, ensuring that what was assigned to you could never be mistakenly given to another. You may wonder, why me? And that question is natural. But the truth is, heaven does not choose randomly. You were selected because of something within you, something that remained alive even when everything around you tried to break it. There were seasons when you felt overlooked, when you questioned your path, when you wondered if your prayers were even being heard. Yet through all of that, you did not completely turn away. Even in your weakest moments, a small part of your spirit stayed open. I was enough. That is what heaven saw. Every struggle you went through was not a punishment. It was preparation. Every delay was not denial. It was alignment. There were times when doors closed in your face, when opportunities slipped through your fingers, and when people you trusted walked away without explanation. In those moments, it felt like loss. It felt like confusion. But now, you are being shown a higher truth. Those moments were necessary to position you exactly where you are right now. Because if those doors had stayed open, you would not be here to receive this message. If those people had remained in your life, they might have distracted you from recognizing what is now being placed before you. Heaven had to clear the path, even if it felt painful, even if it felt unfair. What you thought was rejection was actually redirection. And there were signs. So many signs. You may not have recognized them at the time, but they were there. Repeating patterns. Unexpected thoughts. Dreams that lingered longer than usual. Moments where you felt a sudden sense of peace without any clear reason. These were not coincidences. These were signals, gentle nudges from the spiritual realm, guiding you closer to this exact point. Archangel Michael has been present through it all, even when you did not feel protected. There were dangers you never saw, obstacles that were removed before they could reach you, and battles that were fought on your behalf without your awareness. You may have thought you were alone, but you were never unguarded. And now you are beginning to see the pattern. Nothing in your life has been random. Every step, every delay, every unexpected turn had been part of a larger design. And at the center of that design is this moment, a moment where everything begins to make sense, where the confusion starts to lift, and where the purpose behind your journey becomes clearer. But here is what makes this moment different from everything before. Now you are aware. Before, things were happening around you. Now, something is being placed directly in your hands. This is no longer about waiting or wondering. This is about recognition and response. Heaven has already done its part. The gift has already been released. The path has already been prepared. And your name has already been written on what is coming. There is no confusion in the spiritual realm about who this belongs to. The only question that remains is whether you will step into alignment with what has already been decided. This is where many hesitate. This is where doubt tries to return. Thoughts may begin to whisper, telling you that this might not be real, that you might be imagining things, that you should wait a little longer before believing. But understand this clearly. Those thoughts are the final barrier. They are the last attempt to keep you from stepping into what is already yours. You do not need more time. You do not need more proof. Everything you have experienced up to this point has been leading here. The marking of your name was not temporary. It was permanent. And what is meant for you has now arrived at the edge of your life, waiting for one thing, your willingness to receive it. Because in the next revelation, you will begin to see the signs you almost missed, the ones that were quietly pointing to this very moment all along. There were moments, quiet, almost invisible moments, where everything was trying to get your attention, yet it passed by so gently that you barely noticed. These were not ordinary experiences. They were signs, carefully placed along your path, whispering truths that your spirit could feel even when your mind could not fully understand. And now, as this message reaches you, those moments are returning to your awareness with a deeper meaning. Think back. There were times when something inside you told you to pause, to reflect, to look again at a situation that seemed ordinary on the surface. There were dreams that stayed with you longer than others, images or feelings that lingered after you woke up, as if they were trying to tell you something important. There were repeated patterns, numbers, words, encounters that seemed too precise to be random. You may have brushed them aside, telling yourself it was just coincidence. But it was never coincidence. Archangel Michael was present in those moments, guiding those signs toward you, ensuring they reached you exactly when they needed to. But here is something many do not realize. Divine signs are rarely loud. They do not force themselves upon you. They require awareness. They require stillness. And in a world filled with noise, distraction, and constant movement, it becomes easy to overlook what is sacred. There were also interruptions, unexpected distractions that seemed to pull your focus away just as you were about to notice something important. Moments when you felt clarity for a second, only for it to slip away. Times when you almost made a decision, almost took a step, but something caused you to hesitate. These are not always random either. When something valuable is meant for you, there are forces that try to delay your recognition of it. Not because they can take it away, but because they can convince you to walk past it. And yet, despite all of that, you are still here. That alone is a sign that what has been sent to you has not been lost. It means that even though you may have missed earlier signals, the message has returned in a stronger form, clearer and more direct than ever before. Heaven does not abandon what it has chosen. If you were meant to receive this gift, the call will continue until you are ready to hear it. Now, something is shifting within you. The same signs that once felt distant are beginning to make sense. You are starting to connect the dots between your past experiences and this present moment. That feeling you could not explain, that sense that something was coming, it is no longer hidden. It is here. But with this clarity comes urgency, because recognizing the signs is only the first step. Acting on them is what completes the process. And this is where many falter. They see, they feel, they understand, and then they wait. They delay. They tell themselves they will act later when they feel more certain, more ready, more secure. But divine timing does not wait for human comfort. When the moment arrives, it asks for trust, not perfection. Archangel Michael is urging you now to remain alert, to stay present, to not allow this awareness to fade back into the background of your life. What is being revealed to you is not meant to be observed from a distance. It is meant to be embraced, claimed, and lived. You are closer than you have ever been before. Closer than you were yesterday. Closer than you were in all the times you questioned your path. And the signs you once overlooked are now forming a clear message. This was always meant for you. Do not let this moment pass like the others. Do not allow doubt to silence what your spirit is beginning to recognize. Because what is unfolding right now is not just another experience. It is a turning point. Type "I receive what is mine" in the comments if this message is speaking directly to your spirit. Blessing code 3491 is now activated over your life. And as this truth settles within you, something even deeper is about to be revealed. Something that will show you why this gift is unlike anything you have ever encountered before, and why it carries a power that cannot be ignored. As this revelation touches your spirit, understand this. What you are receiving is not meant to stop with you. It is meant to flow through you, like a river that never runs dry. The word says, "Give, and it shall be given unto you, pressed down, shaken together, and running over." This is not just a verse. It is a living promise being spoken over you right now. When you choose to give, you are not supporting a channel. You are sowing into a movement of awakening souls who are still waiting for their moment, just like you once were. Every message, every word, every divine encounter you experience here is reaching someone else who is lost, someone else who is searching, someone else who needs this exact confirmation. And now, you are being invited into that flow. Say it within yourself. I am a vessel for divine increase. Let that truth settle in your heart, because this is your moment to act. Not later, not someday, now. Heaven is watching what you do with what you have received. There is a seed in your hand, and when you release it, it does not leave your life. It enters your future. Like seeds sown into fertile ground, your giving opens doors, breaks chains, and releases light into places where darkness once ruled. If this message has reached you at the perfect time, then this is your confirmation. The PayPal donation link is waiting for you in the description, and the QR code is right before your eyes in this video. This is not coincidence. This is alignment. Those who give in this moment will see doors open that no one can shut. There is a blessing attached to your obedience. There is overflow tied to your action. Step forward and sow. What is being placed before you now is not like anything you have experienced in the past. It may be tempting to compare it to previous blessings, to moments when something good entered your life and then slowly faded, or times when you thought you had received something meaningful only to realize it was temporary. But this is different. Completely different. And the reason it feels unfamiliar is because it operates on a higher level, one that goes beyond what you have known before. In the past, many of the things you received were tied to circumstances. They depended on people, situations, or conditions that could change without warning. That is why some of those blessings did not last. They were real, but they were not permanent. They were part of your journey, not the destination. They were lessons, not assignments. And while they may have helped you grow, they were never meant to define your future. This divine gift, however, is not dependent on unstable ground. It is anchored in something eternal. It has been prepared with precision, aligned with your purpose, and protected by forces that operate far beyond what you can see. Archangel Michael stands as a guardian over it, not just to deliver it, but to ensure that once you step into it, it cannot be easily taken away or diminished. You may begin to notice that this gift feels different even before you fully understand it. There is a weight to it, a sense of importance that you cannot ignore. It may stir emotions within you that feel deeper than usual, as if something inside you is awakening. It is because this is not just an external blessing. It is something that connects directly to your inner being, something that aligns with who you truly are at your core. Unlike past experiences where you may have doubted whether something was truly meant for you, this time there will be a quiet certainty growing within you. It may not come all at once, but it will build steadily, like a foundation being laid beneath your feet. You will begin to feel that this is right, that this belongs in your life, even if you cannot yet explain why. And here is something even more powerful. This gift cannot be transferred. It cannot be reassigned. What has been marked with your name cannot be given to another. This is why the urgency exists, not because it will be handed to someone else, but because if you do not claim it, it will remain unfulfilled. It will stay in a state of waiting, never fully entering the world in the way it was intended to. That is the deeper truth many do not realize. When a divine gift is not claimed, it does not disappear. It remains incomplete. And you are the one it was designed to be completed through. Your acceptance is what activates it. Your willingness is what allows it to take form in your life. There is also a level of elevation connected to this gift that sets it apart from everything before. This is not just about receiving something. It is about stepping into a new version of yourself. A version that sees more clearly, understands more deeply, and walks with a greater sense of purpose. The gift and the transformation come together. One does not exist without the other. Archangel Michael is not only protecting what is being given to you, but also preparing you to carry it. Because with something this significant comes responsibility, not in a heavy or overwhelming way, but in a way that calls you to rise higher than you have before. You may feel a shift happening within you already, a sense that you can no longer remain where you were. Old patterns may begin to feel uncomfortable. Old ways of thinking may start to fade. This is not something to resist. It is a sign that you are aligning with what has been sent to you. And as this alignment continues, you will begin to understand why everything in your past unfolded the way it did, why certain things had to end, why certain paths had to close. It was all leading to this, a moment where you are ready to receive something that is not temporary, not conditional, and not uncertain. This is why you cannot treat it like anything that came before. This requires a different response. Not hesitation, not overthinking, but recognition and acceptance. Because what is in front of you now carries a weight of purpose that cannot be ignored. And as you stand on the edge of this realization, something deeper is about to unfold. Something that will reveal the unseen battle that has been surrounding this very gift, and why it has taken so much to bring it safely into your hands. There is something you must understand now, something that explains why this moment has felt so intense, so different, and at times, so difficult to fully grasp. Whenever a divine gift of great value is assigned, it does not arrive without resistance. Not because it can be destroyed, and not because it can be taken away from you, but because there are forces that try to delay your recognition of it, to cloud your clarity, and to weaken your confidence before you fully step into it. This is the part of the journey that many people never see clearly. They experience confusion, doubt, and unexpected obstacles, but they do not realize that these are not random struggles. They are part of a spiritual battle that surrounds something valuable. And the more aligned that gift is with your true purpose, the more intense that resistance can feel. Think about what you have been through recently. Moments where your thoughts felt heavier than usual. Times when you questioned yourself more than normal, even when nothing had truly changed externally. Sudden waves of doubt that seemed to appear without reason. These were not signs that you were moving in a wrong direction. In many cases, they were signs that you were getting closer. Because when you approach something that carries divine significance, there is often a final layer of resistance that tries to hold you back. It does not come in obvious forms. It does not announce itself openly. Instead, it works quietly, planting small seeds of hesitation, encouraging delay, and creating just enough distraction to make you lose focus. But here's the truth that shifts everything. This resistance has limits. It cannot stop what has already been ordained. It cannot cancel what has already been released. Its only power lies in influence, not authority. And once you become aware of it, once you recognize that these feelings are not coming from your true self, they begin to lose their hold over you. Archangel Michael stands at the center of this unseen battle, not as a distant observer, but as an active protector. His role is not just symbolic, it is direct. He shields what hath been assigned to you. He ensures that what belongs to you reaches you intact. And he stands as a barrier between your blessing and anything that tries to interfere with it. There have been moments when you were closer to losing clarity than you realized. Times when a single decision could have pulled you away from this path. But something held you back. Something kept you from going too far in the wrong direction. That was not luck. That was protection. Even now, as you hear these words, there may still be a part of you that feels uncertain. That is natural. But do not confuse uncertainty with misalignment. You are not being pushed away. You are being refined. This process is not about making things difficult. It is about strengthening your ability to stand firm in what is being given to you. Because once you fully claim this gift, once you step into alignment with it, the resistance begins to fade. Not all at once, but steadily. The confusion clears. The doubt weakens. And what once felt uncertain begins to feel stable and real. This is why your awareness in this moment is so powerful. You are no longer moving blindly. You are no longer reacting without understanding. You are seeing the pattern, recognizing the opposition, and realizing that it has never had the authority to stop you, only the ability to distract you. And now that you see it, you are no longer as vulnerable to it. Archangel Michael is not asking you to fight this battle alone. In fact, you are not meant to fight in the way you might think. This is not about struggle or force. It is about standing in awareness, remaining grounded in truth, and refusing to step back when everything is urging you to move forward. You are being supported more than you realize. Every step you take toward accepting this gift is being reinforced. Every moment you choose clarity over confusion strengthens your position. And every time you refuse to give in to doubt, you move closer to fully receiving what has been waiting for you. The battle is not a sign that something is wrong. It is a confirmation that something valuable is at stake. And the fact that you are still here, still listening, still open, is proof that you have not been overcome by it. Now, you are approaching a critical point, a moment where the focus shifts from understanding to action. Because knowing that the gift exists is not enough. Recognizing the resistance is not enough. There comes a time when you must step forward and make a clear, conscious decision. And that moment is closer than you think. There comes a point in every divine assignment where preparation ends and action begins. You have now reached that point. This is not a distant moment waiting somewhere in the future. This is not something that will arrive after more signs, more confirmations, or more time to think. The moment to act is here, quietly, powerfully busted in your life right now. Many people misunderstand divine timing. They believe it will feel obvious, loud, undeniable. They expect a perfect sense of certainty before they move. But that is not how heaven operates. Divine timing often arrives in stillness, wrapped in subtle awareness, requiring you to trust what you feel even when you cannot fully explain it. And that is exactly where you are now. You have been prepared. Every delay, every lesson, every challenge had been shaping you for this very step. But preparation alone does not activate a blessing. There must be a response. There must be a moment where you move from observing to accepting, from questioning to deciding. And here is the truth that cannot be ignored. Hesitation is the only thing standing between you and what has already been given. You may feel the urge to wait just a little longer, to think it through one more time, to look for one more sign, one more confirmation, one more reason to be sure. But understand this clearly. The desire to delay does not come from clarity. It comes from fear. Not always obvious fear, not something that feels overwhelming, but a subtle hesitation that whispers, "What if I'm wrong?" That whisper has held many people back from stepping into what was meant for them. Not because they were unworthy, not because the gift was not real, but because they allowed a moment of doubt to outweigh everything they had already experienced. But you are being called to respond differently. Archangel Michael is present in this exact moment, not just as a protector, but as a guide urging you forward. He is not forcing your decision, but he is making the path clear. The hesitation you feel is not a sign to stop. It is the final threshold you must cross. Because the truth is, you will never feel completely ready in the way your mind expects. There will always be a small part of you that questions, that wonders, that tries to hold on to what is familiar. But this gift was not designed to keep you where you are. It was designed to move you forward, to elevate you, to bring you into alignment with something greater than what you have known. And stepping into that requires a choice. This is your moment to say yes, not with perfect understanding, not with complete certainty, but with trust. Trust in what you have felt. Trust in what has been revealed to you. Trust that everything leading up to this point has not been random, because it has not. There is also something important you must realize about timing. When a divine gift is released, it carries a window of activation. Not because it will disappear, but because the conditions that make it easy to receive will not remain open forever. Right now, you are in alignment. Right now, your awareness is clear. Right now, everything is positioned for you to step forward without resistance. If you delay, the clarity can fade. The distractions can return. The noise of everyday life can begin to drown out what you are hearing in this moment. And what feels obvious now may begin to feel distant again. This is why action matters now, not later. Archangel Michael is holding the space for you, ensuring that as you step forward, you are supported. You are not moving into uncertainty alone. You are moving into something that has already been prepared, already been protected, already been aligned with your path. So what does action look like in this moment? It is not complicated. It is not something you need to overanalyze. It begins internally, with a decision. A clear, firm acceptance that what has been sent to you is real, that it belongs to you, and that you are ready to receive it. From that decision, everything else begins to unfold naturally. You do not need to force the process. You do not need to control every outcome. You simply need to step into alignment and allow what has already been set in motion to meet you. This is the moment where everything shifts. The moment where you stop standing at the edge and begin to move forward. The moment where the gift transitions from something that is near you to something that becomes part of your reality. And as you stand here, ready to decide, there is something else you must see clearly. What happens if this moment passes without action? Because while the opportunity is real, so is the consequence of ignoring it. There is a truth that must be spoken with clarity now, not to bring fear into your heart, but to bring understanding into your spirit. Every divine opportunity carries both a promise and a responsibility. The promise is what you receive if you step forward. The responsibility is what happens if you choose not to. And while heaven is filled with grace, it also operates with order. Moments like this are not endless. If this call is ignored, nothing dramatic may happen at first. There will be no immediate sign, no sudden loss that shakes your world overnight. Life may continue as it has before. You may wake up, go through your routines, speak with the same people, and move through the same patterns. On the surface, everything may appear unchanged. But beneath that surface, something important will have shifted. Because when a divine gift is not claimed, it does not vanish. It withdraws into silence. It remains unfulfilled, waiting for a response that never came. And over time, the clarity you feel right now begins to fade. The sense of urgency softens. The awareness that feels so strong in this moment slowly becomes a distant memory. You may even begin to question whether it was ever real at all. This is how many miss what was meant for them. Not through rejection, but through delay. You may find yourself returning to the same cycles you have been trying to break. The same questions without answers. The same desires that feel just out of reach. And deep within you, there may be a quiet feeling that something was missed, something important that you cannot fully explain but cannot completely forget either. That feeling is not punishment. It is awareness without action. And this is where spiritual stagnation begins, not because you are incapable of moving forward, but because a moment of alignment passed without being embraced. The path remains open in a distant sense, but the ease, the clarity, the perfect alignment of timing, that part does not remain the same. Archangel Michael does not force your hand. He does not override your choice. His role is to guide, to protect, and to reveal, but never to control. And so, if you choose to step back, he will not abandon you, but he will allow your decision to unfold. There is still grace in that. There is still presence. But there is also a difference between walking with awareness and walking without it. Ignoring this call does not mean you are lost forever, but it does mean you may have to go through more time, more lessons, and more preparation before reaching another moment like this again. And even then, it may not look the same. It may not feel the same, because each moment carries its own unique alignment that cannot be perfectly repeated. This is why what you are experiencing now is so significant. It is not just about the gift itself. It is about the timing, the clarity, the position you are in right now. Everything has come together in a way that makes this moment powerful, accessible, and within your reach. To ignore it is to step away from that alignment. And yet, this is not being shown to you to create pressure. It is being shown to you so that you can see clearly, without illusion, without confusion, what is truly at stake. Not in a material sense, not in a temporary way, but in a deeper, more meaningful sense that affects your path moving forward. You have already come so far. You have already moved through challenges that once felt impossible. You have already grown in ways you did not expect. And now, you are standing at a point where everything you have been through is ready to connect to something greater. But connection requires participation. Archangel Michael is still standing with you, still holding the path open, still ensuring that what has been assigned to you remains protected in this moment. The opportunity has not been taken away. The gift has not been removed. It is still here. But the question remains, will you reach for it, or will you let it remain just beyond your grasp? Because what comes next will bring you face to face with the reality of time itself, the closing of a door that was once open, and the final moments where a decision must be made before that door begins to slowly, quietly close. There is a door in front of you right now. You may not see it with your physical eyes, but your spirit can feel it. It is not an ordinary door, not something made of wood or stone. This is a spiritual threshold, an opening created by divine timing, held open by purpose, and sustained by a moment that was designed specifically for you. But here is the truth that must be understood with complete clarity. This door will not remain open forever. It was not meant to. Every divine opportunity carries a window, a sacred period where everything aligns, your awareness, your readiness, your position, and the presence of what has been sent to you. Right now, you are standing inside that window. You are not outside looking in. You are not far away trying to reach it. You are already here. And yet, even within this alignment, there is movement. Time is not standing still. The door is not frozen in place. It is slowly, quietly, beginning to shift. Not in a way that creates panic, but in a way that creates urgency. You may begin to feel it, a subtle pressure in your spirit, a sense that this moment carries weight, that it cannot simply be ignored or postponed without consequence. That feeling is not coming from fear. It is coming from truth. It is the awareness that something significant is happening now, not later. Archangel Michael is standing at this threshold with you. Not to push you, not to force you through, but to hold the door open for as long as this moment allows. His presence is steady and unwavering, filled with strength and protection. But even with its strength, there is one thing he will not do. He will not make the choice for you. Because this step must come from you. You may be wondering what lies on the other side of this door. You may feel both anticipation and hesitation at the same time. That is natural. Every true transformation carries a sense of the unknown. But understand this, what is on the other side is not meant to harm you. It is not meant to confuse you. It is something that has been prepared with intention, aligned with your purpose, and designed to bring you into a deeper level of fulfillment. What holds people back in moments like this is not the door itself. It is the attachment to what is behind them, the familiarity of where they have been. Even if it was uncomfortable, even if it felt limiting, it was known. And stepping through this door requires leaving that behind. But you were never meant to stay where you were. The place, those patterns, those cycles, they were temporary. They served their purpose, and now their time is complete. Holding on to them now will not protect you. It will only keep you from moving forward. And as this realization becomes clearer, the urgency grows stronger. Because the door is not closing suddenly. It is not slamming shut without warning. It is slowly beginning to move, giving you the chance to act, giving you the space to choose, giving you the final opportunity to step through while it is still open. This is the moment where everything becomes real. Not just the message, not just the awareness, but the decision. Archangel Michael remains beside you, a steady presence in this moment of transition. There is strength available to you. There is clarity available to you. There is protection surrounding you. You are not being asked to walk into something unprepared. You are being invited into something that has already been made ready. But invitation requires response. And as you stand here, you may feel that inner pull stronger than ever before. That quiet but undeniable knowing that you cannot stay where you are. That something within you is ready, even if another part of you is still unsure. It is the moment you must listen to. Because once this door moves beyond a certain point, it becomes harder to pass through. Not impossible, but no longer easy. No longer aligned in the same way it is right now. This is why this moment matters so deeply. You are not being rushed without reason. You are being called because everything is aligned right now in your favor. The path is clear. The gift is present. The protection is in place. All that remains is your step forward. Type "I step through the door" in the comments if you are ready to claim what has been sent to you. Blessing code 5826 is now released over your path. As you stand before this open door, understand this sacred truth. Every step you take in faith does not just change your life. It becomes a light for countless others who are still standing in darkness, waiting for their own door to appear. The word is alive, and it speaks even now. Those who sow in tears shall reap in joy. This is not distant scripture. It is a living promise being breathed into your moment. When you give, you are not losing. You are planting. You are releasing seeds into soil that heaven itself is watering. And those seeds rise as messages, as revelations, as divine encounters that reach souls across the world who are crying out for confirmation. Say it within your heart. I am part of this divine work. Let that truth move you into action, because this is not just support. It is alignment. It is obedience. It is your response to what you have just received. There are people right now who are one message away from hope, one word away from awakening, one confirmation away from stepping through their own door, and your giving is what carries that message to them. The PayPal link is placed in the description for this very moment. The QR code is not just an image, it is an invitation, a gateway for you to release what is in your hands so heaven can multiply it beyond what you can see. Do not delay this step. Do not wait for another moment. This is your now. As you sow, doors will open. As you release, blessings will return. There is a divine exchange happening in this very act. Step forward and give. And now that you stand at this threshold, fully aware of what is before you, the question is no longer whether the gift exists. The question is how you step into it, how you truly claim what has already been assigned to your name. Because claiming a divine gift is not like reaching out and taking something physical. It is a spiritual alignment, a conscious agreement between your soul and what heaven has already released. The first step is acceptance. Not partial acceptance, not hesitant acknowledgement, but a clear and internal yes. This is the moment where you stop questioning whether this is meant for you and begin to declare, even within yourself, that it is. You do not need permission from others. You do not need validation from the outside world. What has been given to you was never meant to be confirmed by human voices. It was confirmed the moment heaven marked your name. This acceptance shifts something powerful within you that moves you out of uncertainty and into alignment. And once that shift happens, everything begins to respond differently. What once felt distant begins to feel near. What once seemed unclear begins to make sense. This is not imagination. This is alignment taking place. Archangel Michael is present in this moment of acceptance, not as a distant figure, but as an active guide ensuring that as you open yourself to receive, nothing interferes with that connection. His presence reinforces what is happening within you, strengthening your clarity and stabilizing your path forward. The second step is releasing doubt. This is where many struggle, not because they lack faith, but because they are used to questioning what feels too good, too aligned, or too perfectly timed. But understand this, doubt does not protect you. It delays you. It creates distance between you and what is already yours. Releasing doubt does not mean you will never have questions again. It means you choose not to let those questions control your response. It means you recognize that your spirit has already received confirmation, even if your mind is still catching up. You may feel moments where old thoughts try to return, where hesitation tries to reappear. When that happens, do not fight it with force. Simply return to what you know in this moment. Return to the clarity you feel right now. That is your anchor. The third step is openness. This may seem simple, but it is deeper than it appears. Being open means allowing the gift to enter your life without trying to control how it arrives, when it fully unfolds, or what form it takes. Many people block their own blessings by trying to shape them into something familiar, something predictable. But this gift was not designed to fit into your past. It was designed to lead you into something new. Archangel Michael ensures that what enters your life comes in the form that is best for you, even if it does not match your expectations at first. Trust in that process. Trust that what is unfolding is not random, but intentional. There is also an important truth you must hold on to. Once you claim this gift, it begins to express itself through you. It is not something that remains separate from your life. It becomes part of your decisions, your direction, your sense of purpose. You may notice changes in how you think, how you respond, and what you feel drawn toward. This is not something to resist. It is the natural unfolding of what you have accepted. You do not need to rush ahead or try to force results. The act of claiming is not about immediate outcomes, it is about alignment. And once alignment is established, the results follow in their own time, in their own way, without unnecessary struggle. What matters now is your willingness to stand in that alignment, to remain steady in your acceptance, to trust what you have felt, what you have seen, and what hath been revealed to you. Because the moment you fully claim what is yours, something irreversible begins. A shift that cannot be undone. A movement that carries you forward into something greater than what you have known. And as that movement begins, you will start to see the transformation it brings, not just in your circumstances, but within you. A change that reflects the true purpose behind this gift, and the life that begins to unfold because you chose to receive it. The moment you truly claim what has been sent to you, something begins to shift. Quietly at first, almost like a whisper moving through your spirit. It does not arrive with chaos or confusion. It comes with a deep, steady sense of change that starts from within and gradually moves outward into every part of your life. This is the transformation that follows, and it is unlike anything you have experienced before. At first, you may notice a new kind of clarity. Thoughts that once felt scattered begin to settle. Decisions that once felt difficult begin to feel more natural. You are no longer pulled in multiple directions by uncertainty. Instead, there is a growing sense of direction, a feeling that you are finally aligned with something that makes sense on a deeper level. This clarity is not something you force, it is something that flows. It comes as a result of your alignment with what has already been placed within your reach. When you said yes, when you chose to accept without hesitation, you created space for this clarity to enter. Archangel Michael is present in this transformation, not just as a protector, but as a stabilizing force. His presence ensures that what begins within you is not easily shaken. As old patterns try to resurface, as familiar doubts attempt to return, there is now a strength within you that was not there before, a strength that allows you to remain grounded. You may also begin to notice changes in your environment. Not always immediately, not always dramatically, but gradually and consistently. Certain situations that once felt heavy may begin to lose their hold on you. Certain connections that no longer align with your path may naturally begin to fade. And in their place, new opportunities, new insights, and new forms of support may start to appear. This is not coincidence. This is the result of alignment. Because when you step into what is meant for you, your external world begins to reflect that internal shift. It may not happen all at once, but it happens in a way that feels natural, almost as if everything is adjusting to match who you are becoming. There is also a deeper level of peace that begins to take root within you. Not the kind of peace that depends on everything going perfectly, but a steady, unshakable calm that remains even when things around you are still in motion. This peace comes from knowing that you are no longer searching, no longer waiting, no longer questioning whether something is missing. You have stepped into what was meant for you, and with that comes a sense of fulfillment that cannot be easily explained. It is not tied to one single outcome or one specific result. It is a deeper knowing that you are where you need to be, doing what you are meant to do, moving in the direction that was always intended for you. Archangel Michael continues to guide this process, ensuring that as your life begins to change, you are supported every step of the way. You are not left to navigate this transformation alone. There is guidance available to you, protection surrounding you, and a steady presence that keeps you aligned. You may also find that your perspective begins to shift. Things that once felt important may no longer carry the same weight. Concerns that once consumed your thoughts may begin to feel smaller, less significant. And in their place, a new focus begins to emerge, one that is centered on purpose, growth, and forward movement. This does not mean that challenges will disappear completely, but it does mean that you will face them differently, with more clarity, with more confidence, with a deeper understanding of who you are and what you are capable of. Because transformation is not about removing every obstacle. It is about becoming someone who is no longer stopped by them. And as this transformation continues to unfold, you will begin to see something even more powerful. The reason why you were chosen in the first place. Not as a question, not as something to wonder about, but as something that becomes clear through your own experience. You will begin to understand that this was never random, that this was never given without purpose, that there was always a reason why your name was marked, why your path led you here, and why this moment found you exactly when it did. And that realization will bring you into the final understanding why you, above all others, were chosen to receive something so specific, so intentional, and so deeply aligned with your soul. There is a question that rises naturally at this stage of your journey, a question that lingers quietly beneath everything you have experienced so far. Why you? Out of so many people, so many paths, so many lives unfolding at the same time, why was this divine gift assigned to you? The answer is not found in comparison. It is not because you are better than others, or more deserving in a way that separates you from the rest. Heaven does not operate through competition. It operates through purpose, and your selection is rooted in something far deeper than anything visible on the surface. You were chosen because of your alignment, even when you did not realize you were aligning. There were moments when you stayed true to something within you, even when it would have been easier to walk away. Moments when you held on to a sense of hope, even when circumstances gave you every reason to let it go. Moments when you chose to continue even when you felt uncertain, tired, or alone. Those moments may have seemed small to you at the time, but they were not small in the spiritual realm. They were signals that showed your willingness to remain open. Signals that revealed your capacity to receive something greater. Signals that marked you as someone who would not only be given a gift, but someone who would recognize it when the time came. Archangel Michael witnessed those moments, not as isolated events, but as part of a larger pattern that revealed who you truly are beneath the surface. And based on that pattern, your name was not just noticed, it was chosen. There is also something unique about your journey that made this gift specifically suited for you. The experiences you have had, the challenges you have faced, the lessons you have learned. These are not things that can be duplicated in someone else's life. They have shaped your perspective in a way that is entirely your own. And this gift is designed to match that perspective. It fits into your life in a way that it could not fit into someone else's. It connects to your purpose in a way that would not align with another path. This is why it cannot be transferred. This is why it cannot be reassigned. It was created with you in mind from the very beginning. You may not have always seen your journey as meaningful. There may have been times when you questioned whether everything you were going through had any real purpose. But now, you are beginning to see that nothing was wasted. Every step contributed to your readiness for this moment. Even the moments that felt like failure. Even the times when things did not go as planned. Even the periods where you felt like you were standing still. All of it was part of your preparation. Archangel Michael has been guiding that preparation, ensuring that every experience, every lesson, every shift brought you closer to alignment with what was meant for you. You were not being delayed. You were being positioned. And now that you have reached this point, the reason for your selection is becoming clear. You were chosen because you are ready, not in the sense that you have everything figured out, Not in the sense that you have no more growth ahead of you, but in the sense that you have reached a level of awareness, a level of openness, and a level of willingness that allows you to step into what has been prepared for you. This readiness is not something that can be forced. It cannot be rushed. It develops over time, through experience, through reflection, through moments of both strength and vulnerability. And you have reached it. That is why this moment is happening now. That is why the message has found you. That is why the gift is within your reach. Because you are no longer the person you were before. You have grown, even if you did not always see it. You have changed, even if it did not always feel obvious. And now, you are in a position to receive something that matches who you have become. This is not about proving yourself. That part is already complete. This is about stepping into what has already been decided. Archangel Michael stands with you as this realization settles in, affirming that your selection was intentional, precise, and unchanging. There is no mistake in it. There is no confusion around it. You were chosen because this belongs to you. And now, as everything comes together, there is one final message, a closing from heaven that brings peace, clarity, and a gentle reminder of what still remains within your reach, even now. Beloved soul, as this message begins to settle within you, feel the shift in your spirit. What once felt uncertain is now becoming clear. What once felt distant is now within reach. And what once felt like a question is now becoming an answer. This is not by chance. This is the gentle closing of a message that was always meant to find you at exactly the right time. There is no chaos in this moment. No confusion. Only truth. Steady, calm, and present. You have been guided step by step, word by word, into an understanding that was always waiting to be revealed. And now, as you stand here at the end of this journey, there is nothing left to search for, only something to receive. Archangel Michael is still with you, not just as a messenger, but as a presence of peace. The urgency that once felt intense is now transforming into calm assurance. Because you have heard, you have understood, and most importantly, you have reached the moment where your choice becomes clear. The divine gift has not moved away from you. It has not disappeared. It has not been taken back. It is still here, still within your reach, still waiting for your acceptance. But now you understand something you did not fully see before. This moment was never about pressure. It was about awareness. It was about awakening you to what has already been yours. There is no need to rush in fear. There is no need to question yourself any longer. The truth has already settled within you. And from this place, your decision becomes natural, effortless, and aligned with who you truly are. You are not the same person who began this journey. Something within you has shifted. A deeper awareness has taken root. A clearer sense of direction has begun to form. And that is the true sign that you are ready. Whatever you choose from this moment forward, know this: you were seen, you were chosen, and you were called for a reason. Nothing about this was random. Nothing about this was accidental. Every word, every realization, every feeling has been leading you to this peaceful understanding. Archangel Michael remains beside you, not to guide you any further, but to affirm that you already know the way. The path is no longer hidden. The door is no longer unclear. And the gift is no longer a mystery. It is yours. And as you move forward from here, carry this truth with you, not as something temporary, but as something that becomes part of who you are. Let it guide your thoughts. Let it strengthen your decisions. Let it remind you, even in quiet moments, that you are aligned with something greater. This is not the end. It is the beginning of something that will continue to unfold in ways you cannot yet fully see, but will come to understand in time. So breathe in this moment. Let it settle. Let it become real within you. I claim what heaven sent me in the comments if you are ready to fully receive. Blessing code 9017 is now sealed over your life. As this message comes to rest in your spirit, understand this sacred truth. What you have received was never meant to end with you. It is meant to flow outward, touching lives, awakening hearts, and reaching souls who are still waiting in silence for their moment of clarity. The living word declares, the generous soul will be made rich, and the one who waters will himself be watered. This is not a distant promise. It is being spoken over you right now. When you give, you are not simply offering support. You are releasing light. You are becoming part of a divine current that carries truth into places where darkness once held power. Every seed you sow becomes a message. Every offering becomes a voice that reaches someone who is still searching. Say it within yourself. I am a vessel of divine overflow. Let that declaration move you into action, because this moment is not ordinary. This is your opportunity to respond to what heaven has placed in your hands. There are countless souls who have not yet heard what you have just heard. They are waiting for confirmation, waiting for a sign, waiting for a message like this to appear in their lives. And your giving is what makes that possible. The PayPal donation link has been placed in the description for a reason. The QR code on your screen is not SL. It is your doorway to participate in this divine work. This is your moment to sow into something eternal. Do not delay. Do not hesitate. What you release now will return multiplied in ways you cannot yet imagine. Step forward and give.